How's everybody doing? I'm really pumped today because I'm going to be flying in Peru, which I think this is the first time that I've ever done a flight in Peru. There's a big VATSIM event happening tonight over Peruvian airspace. A lot of fun things happening, a whole lot of planes, a lot of great South American liveries. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be flying all the way from Jorge Chavez International Airport to Rodriguez Bailon International. Uh, so we're starting in Lima, the capital, and then we're gonna fly to Arequipa, and lots of good scenery on the way. Uh, we got kind of a cool livery here, but on top of that, we've got this beautiful backdrop of the Andes Mountains right here in Lima, which I'm really excited about. As you can tell, the sun is rising in the east, so the time is not live, so that way you're able to actually see all the scenery and the liveries and stuff, because if it was live, it would be pitch black darkness. Right now, it would be nighttime. So this kind of gives us an opportunity to see what's going on here and to check out the VATSIM event that's happening right now. And without further ado, let's go ahead and fire her up and get off the ground. Alright, let's turn up the overhead lighting. Emergency exits arm. Alright, hope you guys are having a good day. Smoking signs auto, cruise supply on. And as usual, I'm on the Phoenix A320 today, hanging out with my co-pilot Eli Manning. He doesn't say anything, he doesn't do anything, but good to have him here. So, gonna raise the armrest here, turn up floodlights. And let's run that APU fire test. Brilliant. Alright, and go to the Phoenix tab. Send some data. We're going to board and refuel at the same time. In real life, this probably would not happen, but we're going to do it on here to save time.
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask
Go init. SPJC. SPQU. Okay. And again, we're going to be on Avianca. Cost index is, well, let's see, 5. Cruise flight level. Probably going to leave on 16 right.
Is in position.
On the Paco 5. Transition axle. Okay, there we go. Alright, open up the cabin door. Let's take a look outside. Gonna talk to GSX and remind it that I mean business. Okay. Just in case anybody has forgotten, yes, jet fuel is flammable. There's a nice warning here. So no smoking.
Passengers boarding started. Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the MCDU here really quick. Hey, Carlos, vlogs, videos, pilots. Hey, it's good to see you, man. Hey, you live in Peru. That's awesome, man. I'm really glad. In that case, I'm really glad that I'm flying tonight in Peru. That's wonderful, man. Where in Peru are you?
¿Puedo ver su pase de abordar, por favor? Hola. ¿Puedo ver su pase de abordar, por favor? Por aquí, por favor. Welcome on board.
Okay, so we're still getting fueled up. It's a process.
Buenas noches. ¿Pase de abordar, por favor?
I don't know why the weather's acting so strange.
Buenas noches.
That was really weird. Come on.
This one, please.
Okay, it looks like the fuel is done here.
¿Puedo ver su pase de abordar, por favor?
Alright. And now what we're gonna do is going to go to the flight plan here, and we're gonna enter in some waypoints.
Welcome on board.
I'm gonna write down the ones that are relevant here. Okay, so we only got a couple waypoints to put in here. We've got KOSKO, and after that we got
Bienvenido a bordo.
DIKOS. Okay. And we're going to put in our arrival information here. We should be on the localizer for 10.
Hello.
I'm going to double check the ATIS down in southern Peru to make sure that we're using an approach that's okay
¿Puedo ver
with
su pase de abordar?
the powers that be there. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so there's a lot of people using the localizer, so I guess I'm not the only one. Alright, ASUP 1 Bravo.
Pase de abordar.
Okay. Brilliant. Just double check this flight plan. It looks good to me. I'm gonna go to the init fuel page, send just a little bit more data, and we're gonna look at the wind speed. Positive 38, always good to have a tailwind. And we're going to go to performance, flaps 1, and I'm going to use the departure performance calculator. Okay. And now it's really just a matter of us putting in our altimeter. So at the moment, here in Lima, the altimeter is let's see, 1013 hectopascals. That was convenient. So now I need to take a look at what frequencies are available here in Lima. I do believe we have tower on 118.750. Okay. We've got tower, and then we've got approach on 119.7. Might as well just put that in too. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and write out clearance because since we are not in the US, it's not done through the ACARs like it's done in the US many times. So I'm going to go ahead and just write out our clearance, our intentions here.
Víctor Papa, Bravo, Víctor, Víctor, autorizado posición y mantener en Víctor 216 derecha.
Posición a mantener 16 derecha, Bravo, Víctor, Víctor.
For 811 Airbus. Sorry, I'm just writing everything out. And I need to see what stands we're at here. In Lima, it looks like we're at stand 14.
Lima Torre, el LAN Perú 01 se encuentra listo para rodar a espera de la 16 derecha y si es posible podemos target de intersección Víctor 2.
LAN Perú 012, recibido sin inconveniente, autorizado rodaje vía November, línea naranja, Mike, Quebec, Víctor, punto espera Víctor 216 derecha.
Autorizados a rodar vía November, naranja, Mike, Quebec, Víctor, intersección Víctor 2 de la 16 a LAN Perú 01.
Correcto, Víctor Papa, Bravo, Víctor, Víctor, viento 160 grados, 10 nudos, pista 16 derecha, intersección Víctor 2, autorizado a despegar.
Desde Víctor 2, autorizado al despegue de 16 derecha, Argepa, Bravo, Víctor, Víctor.
LAN Perú 2721 prevé su salida minuto 40 por separación de tráfico.
Listos a encender motores Fuerza Aérea Perú 001 en el grupo aéreo 8.
Fuerza Aérea Perú 001, autorizó el encendido a discreción, llame listo a rodar.
Llamaremos listos a rodaje Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001.
Okay, well, let's see. Lima Tower, hello, this is Avianca 4811 Airbus A320 at stand 14. We have information Whiskey on board, QNH 1013, request IFR clearance to Arequipa.
Avianca 4811 Lima Tower, good evening. Stand by for clearance, I will call you back.
Stand by for clearance, good evening to you as well, Avianca 4811. Okay, so they know we're on the list. Well, while we're waiting for them,
Lima Torre, buenas noches, Dan Perú
I'm just gonna look at the
2117.
view here. Wait,
2117, mantenga escucha, ya lo llamo.
Lima, para información, fuese 001, estamos reportando otros usuarios también, falla en el B-Pilot, ¿eh?
Correcto, sí, al momento estoy teniendo inconvenientes con el aeroscope, así que mantengan el escucha, ya los llamo a todos.
Roger that, sir.
Avianca 4811 Lima Tower, are you ready to copy?
ready to copy, Avianca 4811.
Avianca 4811, you're cleared to Arequipa as filed by a Pacol 5 departure axle transition. Runway 16 right, initial climb flight level 270, expect high en route and squawk 1670.
Cleared to Arequipa via the PACO 5 departure as filed, transition axle, initial climb flight level 270, runway 16 right, squawk 1670 for Avianca 4811.
Avianca 4811, read back correct, call for bridge, break, Lamperu 2721, pista 16 izquierda, viento 160 grados, 101, autorizado para despegar.
Autorizado a despegar, pista 16 izquierda, LAN 2721.
Bravo Víctor Víctor con Lima Radar 197, buen vuelo.
Lima Radar 197, chao.
Sky Peru 5141 previa su salida para el minuto 44 de la hora.
Traemos minuto 44 de la hora para la salida de Sky Peru 5141.
Okay.
Ahora sí, the other aircraft who was calling I think was the Lamperu 2117.
Correcto, Dan Perú 2117, posición 405, información whisky, listo para operar el equipo.
2117, recibido, autorizado, plan de vuelo Arequipa, según ruta plan de vuelo, salida Pacol 5, transición Axol, pista 16 derecha, nivel 270 inicial, previa mayor en ruta y código transponder 1646.
Autorización Arequipa, Pacol 5, salida Axol, transición, pista 16 derecha, ascenso inicial 270, previa mayor en ruta, código transponder 1646, Dan Perú 2117.
Lamperu 2117, correlación correcta, notifique cuando listo el proceso de remolcado.
Certificar listo Dan Perú 2117.
Lima, fuerza de Perú 001, listos a iniciar rodaje.
Fuerza de Perú 001, ruede vía plataforma Alfa 4, Alfa Bravo, punto de espera 16 izquierda, mantenga por pista. Break. Lamperu 2721 en el aire, minuto 42 con Lima Radar 197, buen vuelo.
197, buenas noches.
Guys, I don't know why it's
Sky Perú 5141, autorizado posición y mantener en Víctor 216 derecha.
Ingreso y mantiene pista 16 derecha, Sky Peru 5141.
Okay, we should be ready for pushback in just a second. Lima Tower, Avianca 4811 is ready for pushback.
Avianca 4811, clear the push facing north, call for taxi.
Clear for push face north, call for taxi, Avianca 4811. Okay. Oop. Okay, so if we're gonna face north, then our tail needs to go right. And I need to dismiss chocks, dismiss the GPU. Going to start up our engine 2, and we're gonna get moving. And finally, that should get rid of this ridiculous glitch where the light is flickering. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Here we go. We're moving. Let's go, Peru. We're flying in Peru on a Colombian airline. It's just awesome. Okay. 1 times, we're gonna start engine 1. Yay! Here we go, guys. This is fascinating stuff. First time in Peru. But Carlos Vlogs, good to have you, man. It's so cool to have a Peruvian on the stream when I'm flying in Peru. That's awesome, man. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna set the parking brakes.
Sky Peru 5141, viento 160 grados 10 nudos, pista 16 derecha, intersección Víctor 2, autorizado para despegar.
Alright, engine 1 is avail.
Autorizado despegar pista 16 derecha, el Sky Peru 5114.
APU bleeds off, APU's off. Alright, we're going to arm speed brakes, flaps 2, and then we're going to turn on runway, turn off lights and taxi, then we're going to call for taxi. Lima Tower, Avianca 4811 is ready for taxi.
4811, just to confirm, are you able to make a left turn and join Alpha, or you only can join by Alpha 1?
I can make a left turn and join Alpha.
Okay, Avianca 4811, taxi via Alpha and hold short Bravo.
Taxi via Alpha, hold short Bravo, Avianca 4811. Okay, so that's exciting stuff. We're going to get moving, and we're going to taxi Alpha, hold short Bravo, and let's get this show on the road.
Lima Torre, buenas noches, la Chile 574.
Lanchile 574, Lima Torre, buenas noches, proceda.
Hola, buenas noches, en 206340 para Quito con whisky, listo a copiar.
Lanchile 574, gracias por whisky y mantenga la escucha, ya lo llamo.
Quédate tu 574.
Guys,
Lanchile 574, me confirmó listo la copia.
Listo a copiar, 574.
Lanchile 574, autorizado plan de vuelo IFR Quito, según ruta plan de vuelo, pista 16 derecha, Telef 2 Foxtrot, transición a Tatu, ascenso inicial 280, prevea mayor en ruta, código 5640.
Entonces autorizado a Quito vía ruta plan, pista 16 derecha, lateral
2 Foxtrot, transición a Tatu, 280 nivel, cambio en ruta y respondemos 5640, LAN Chile 574.
LAN Chile 574 con la acción correcta, llame para retroceso, remolcado.
Llamaremos 574.
LAN Peru 012, Lima.
LAN Perú 012, adelante.
012 en descolpamiento, 160 grados, 10 nudos, intersección Víctor 2, 16 derecha, autorizado para despegar. Break, Sky Perú 5141 con Lima Radar 197. Sky Perú 5141, Lima.
Adelante, Lima, se le cortó la transmisión.
Con Lima Radar 197.
Recibido, con Lima Radar en 19-7, la Sky Perú 5141, muchas gracias por el control de Jamil, Chucho.
Lima, Fuerza Aérea Perú 001 en calle Bravo, punta espera, pista 16 izquierda, listos a la secuencia.
Fuerza de Perú 001, autorizado cruce de pista en Bravo, libere Lima 3, Lima Quebec Víctor, punto espera 16 derecha.
Cruzamos la vía Bravo, la 16 izquierda, posterior Lima 3, Lima Quebec Víctor, punto espera 16 derecha, Fuerza de Perú 001.
Correcto, Bianca 4811, continue taxi to Bravo, clear to cross 16 left at Bravo, and then continue taxi following Boeing 737-600.
Taxi via Bravo, cross runway 16 left, and taxi, continue to follow the Bravo 737 Avianca 4811, or sorry, Boeing 737 Avianca 4811. Okay, so we're going to just keep going via Bravo. We're going to cross runway 16 left, and we're going to follow our buddy here, who's flying in the Boeing 737.
Para LAN Perú 2117, posición 405, listo, remolque puesta en marcha.
2117, autorizado retroceso remolcado sobre Tango, línea naranja, notifique listo a rodar.
Retroceso y puesta en marcha por 2 sobre Tango, línea naranja, vuelve listo a rodar LAN Perú 2117.
LAN Perú 012 en el aire, minuto 50 con Lima Radar 197, buen vuelo.
19-7 para LAN Perú 012, muchas gracias por el control. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Alright, our friend here is taking a turn on Lima because he knows if he were to turn right there's really a dead end, so we're going left on Lima so we can get over to runway 16 right. And the good news is we get to pass by some other aircraft on our way, which is fun. Okay. Here we go, guys. We're just gonna keep following our friend here.
Lima Torre, buenas noches, Skyjet 2456 a 320 en puerta 305 izquierda con información whisky, solicito autorización de plan de vuelo IFR con destino a Arequipa.
Skyjet 2456 Lima Torre, buenas noches, autorizado plan de vuelo IFR Arequipa, según ruta plan de vuelo, salida pista 16 derecha, Pacol 5, transición Axol, ascenso inicial 270, prevea mayor en ruta, código transponder 1664.
Autorizado por pista 16 derecha, salida Pacol 5, transición Axol, ascender a 270 y código de transponder 1664, Skyjet 2456.
Skyjet 2456, colación correcta, llame para retroceso remolcado.
Notificaremos listos, Skyjet 2456.
Okay guys, we're getting pretty close to our runway. It's a very long runway, so it's a very long taxi, but we'll get there.
En calle Víctor, Fuerza de Perú 001, solicitamos decolaje vía Víctor 2.
Fuerza del Perú 001, sin inconveniente, prevé su salida Víctor 2.
Para Víctor 2 y llamaremos punta espera Víctor 2, Fuerza de Perú 001.
Víctor Darlan, Perú 2117.
Number 2117, autorizado rodaje vía Tango Víctor, punto espera pista 16 derecha.
Punto espera pista 16 derecha vía Tango Víctor, Perú 2117.
Okay. Well, it's a bit of a taxi, but if anyone has any comments on Peru or flying, love to hear it. Scenery is definitely pretty over here in Lima. Definitely just amazing sight. Because me and the 737 are kind of mid-size aircraft, there's a chance we'll be able to take off from the Victor 2 holding...
Listo la salida Fuerza Aérea Perú 001, vía Víctor 2.
Fuerza del Perú 001, recibido viento 160 grados, 10 nudos, pista 16 derecha, intersección Víctor 2, autorizado para despegar.
Autorizado a despegar a Víctor 2, 16 derecha, Fuerza de Perú 001. Nueva Terra, nos encontramos listos para retroceso y puesta en marcha Skyjet 2456.
Skyjet 2456, autorizado retroceso remolcado sobre November, línea naranja, notifique listo, rodar.
Sierra November, línea naranja, notificaremos listos a rodar Skyjet 2456.
Correcto. Avianca 4811, after departing traffic, clear lineup on wait at Victor 2, runway 16 right.
After departing traffic, line up and wait from Victor 2 on runway 16 right, Avianca 4811. Okay, so basically, our friend here is already taken off, so we can line up. Whoever's running tower at Lima right now, he's doing a fantastic job. It's probably not easy to run tower in 2 different languages on VATSIM, but he's doing incredible. He's doing a really good job.
Con Lima puedo dar aquí.
Aeronave que llamó Lima, repita.
Lima puedo dar.
La aeronave que llamó no se le copió el call sign y se le escuchó 3 de 5.
Disculpe, la tengo 215.
Se le copió ahora 4 de 5. Fuerza del Perú 001 en el aire, minuto 59. Ahora con Lima radar 119.7. Buen vuelo, César.
Con 19,7. Muchas gracias, Benjamín. Buenas noches, Fuerza Aérea Perú 001.
I don't know what everyone is saying, but it's fantastic. So we've been given the instruction to line up and wait, so basically we're sort of just patiently waiting for the plane that just departed to get far enough ahead of us to where there isn't any kind of traffic jam between us and them. Not to mention, in real life, they focus on trying to create the least amount of wake turbulence as possible. So they'll create a little bit of space to make sure that when your plane is taken off, that you're not running into all this crazy wake turbulence from the jet that just was ahead of you, which is a good thing.
2117, prevea su salida minuto 6 o minuto 7 de la hora.
Because the last time you want to have super moderate turbulence is right when you're trying to get off the ground. That's not a good day. Okay, so they're definitely giving spacing instructions. I'm going to take a look at this departure chart just to make sure they don't have an automatically contact thing going on. There's huge mountains in the vicinity of this airport, so as you can imagine, on the departure they immediately try to get people as high as possible to get over those mountains, especially when you're traveling east like we are, because Arequipa is to the southeast of Lima, so because we're going to be flying over the mountains, they're going to try to get us as high as possible after takeoffs, just to create plenty of space between us and the Andes that'll be right below us. Okay.
Avianca 4811, wind 160 degrees, 10 knots. Victor 2, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 16 right, clear for takeoff, Avianca 4811. Okay, well, those are the magic words. Let's go ahead and bring our engines up to about 40. And then, as Han Solo said, punch it, Chewie. Here we go. Positive, ready to climb, gear up. Lever climb is flashing, we're going to reduce throttle to climb. We've reached that speed, so flaps up. Turn taxi lights off. Take off lights off. And disarm spoilers. Got a beautiful side
Avianca
of
48111. Your departure 3 minutes of the hour. Now contract departure 119.7. See ya. Have a great flight.
contact departure on 119.7. Thank you so much. You did a great job, Avianca 4811.
Thank you so much. Have a safe flight.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk to Lima departure in just a second. We're going to give them sort of the basics. We're going to say that we're off runway 16 right, and we're passing a certain altitude, climbing a certain altitude, and then we're going to say the waypoint that we're inbound. Lima departure, hello, this is Avianca 4811 off runway 16 right, passing 3,500 and climbing flight level 270, inbound Sisson.
Avianca 4811 Lima, good day, radar contact 4003, continue flight to flight 270 via Paco 5 departure.
So sorry, say again?
Avianca 4811, radar contact 4,500 feet, continue climb to flight level 270 via Paco 5 departure.
Climb flight level 270, Avianca 4811. Oh, and direct Paco, sorry, Avianca 4811.
Negative sir, via Paco 5 departure.
Oh, via Paco 5 departure, my fault, sorry, Avianca 4811.
No problem. Fuerza del Perú 001, por derecha directo a Axol. Fuerza del Perú 001, por derecha directo a Axol.
Derecha y directo a Sol, Fuerza de Perú 001.
How about that, guys? And we're off. It's a beautiful coast of Peru below us in the Andes Mountains. We're going to get a much closer look at the Andes in just a second. And yes, it's not lost on me that Avianca is a Colombian airline and we're flying over Peru. But at the moment, I couldn't find any Peruvian airlines. I'm sure that they're going to add some to the Phoenix livery library. It'll happen. And as soon as they do, I will download it. But I'm sure Avianca's got to do some flights in Peru, I would think, especially due to proximity. I know LATAM Airlines, or LATAM, I always forget how to say it, but LATAM Airlines does a lot of flights in Peru and Argentina and Brazil. So the reason they gave us flight level 270 very early on is, again, just to give us as much altitude as possible, since mountains come right up to the coast, basically in Peru. Got huge mountains less than a couple miles from the ocean. It's incredible. really do appreciate the different volunteers who make VATSIM possible. I know that on a night like tonight, where you've got so many planes coming in and out of Lima and Peru, to have these controllers constantly giving instructions in not one languages but two languages, that is absolutely incredible. You have to have a great community to have people running air traffic in multiple languages and loving it, and they're not even getting paid. That's what's remarkable.
Lima Radar, buenas noches, Lampero 2117 a través de 6500 en ascenso para nivel 270.
Lampero 2117, Lima. Buenas noches, contacto radar 7000 pies, continúa ascenso sin restricción para nivel de vuelo inicial 270, vía Pacol 5 para salir.
Pacol 5 salida, ascenso sin restricciones para nivel de vuelo 270, Lampero 2117.
Fuerte Aéreo Perú 001, contacte Lima Control 14,750, buen día.
124,75, gracias Luciano, buen turno, Fuerza Perú 001.
Avianca 481 1, contact Lima Center. 124750, contact. Contact Lima Center, 124.750, contact.
Sorry, I know you guys couldn't hear me there for a second. I was just talking with the guy, and he told me to go to 12475. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm sure Lima Control is very busy. Oh wow, man, the altitude has changed dramatically. This is amazing. Lima Control, hello, this is Avianca 4811, passing flight level 255, climbing flight level 270, inbound Paco.
Avianca 4811, Lima, good day. Radar contact, continue climb to flight level 3900.
Continue climb to flight level 3900, Avianca 4811. Alright, that's what we want to hear. We want to get up to cruise altitude. And here we go. Come on. Okay.
Lima, Víctor Bravo, Bravo, Víctor, Víctor.
Prosiga.
Nos faltan 30 millas para el descenso, si lo podemos ir solicitando ya.
Sin problema, descienda vía Azupa 1 Bravo la llegada para nivel 210, QNH 1028.
Cuando listos entonces, el descenso para 210 vía la llegada Azupa 1 Bravo sobre QNH 1028. Bravo, Víctor, Víctor.
Correcto.
Buenas noches, la Perú 2117, Paco el 5, salida a través 237 para 270.
Perú 2117, Lima, buenas noches. Contacto radar, libre ascenso para nivel 370.
Ascenso libre a nivel 1370, la Perú 2117. Lima Centro, LAN 2721 al momento a unas 20-25 millas y puede ser para el descenso.
LAN Perú 2721 recibido. Descienda, cuando listo, vía Supa 1 Alfa la llegada, desciendo para nivel 230 y QNH 1028.
Perfecto, y viene por la llegada 230 y Azupa 1 Alfa.
Correcto. Nivelado 350, Fuerza Aérea Perú 001. 001 recibido, notifique listo al descenso. Llamaremos listo de descenso, Fuerza de Perú 001. Víctor Papa Bravo, Víctor, continúe para 210, vía Supa 1 Bravo y contacte Arequipa 128, corrijo, 118,7.
¿Tomamos Arequipa en 18-7? Víctor Papa Bravo.
Correcto.
Lima Control, consulta para el LAN Perú 012, la llegada de Arequipa es vía Azupa 1 Bravo o Azupa 1 Alfa.
012, prevé a Supa 1 Alfa la llegada.
Recibido, Azupa 1 Alfa para LAN Perú 012.
Lima, Sky Perú 5141 con Celta.
Prosiga.
5141, me confirma qué llegada prevemos para Arequipa.
Azupa 1 Bravo, la llegada.
Azupa 1 Bravo prevemos entonces el Sky Perú 5141.
Correcto. Perú 721 Lima.
Adelante, 2721.
2721. Posterior a Supa va a volar directo a la posición Gemam. Descienda para nivel 210.
Descendemos para posición... ¿Puedo repetir?
Correcto. Descienda para 210 y posterior a Supa directo Gemam.
Descendemos para 210 y posterior a Supa para Gemán. 2721.
Correcto. Contacte Arequipa 118,7.
Contactamos 118.7. Buenas noches.
Listo. Lima.
Lima Control, buenas noches. Skyjet 2456 a 10 millas de Pacol.
Skyjet 2456, Lima, buen día. Contacto radar, continúe ascenso para nivel 310.
A nivel 310, Skyjet 2456.
Correcto, la Perú 012, Lima.
Adelante, para la Perú 012.
012, vectores para espaciamiento, pira por derecha, rumbo 160.
Por derecha 160, la Perú 012.
Sky Perú 5141, Lima.
Adelante Lima, 5141.
Sky Perú 5141, precaución con el descenso, tenía un tránsito a 1 milla detrás suyo, nivel 350. Decía ahora cuando listo para 210 vía Supa 1 Alfa.
Recibido, cuando listo descendemos para 210 vía Supa 1 Alfa y con precaución del tráfico avisado, el Sky Perú 5141.
Vía Supa 1 Bravo, la llegada y el tránsito a las 9 de su posición, ahora 9 millas.
Recibido, Supa 1 Bravo y pendiente del tráfico en el TICAS, el Skyper 5 Novato.
Clima control para fuerza de Perú 001, ¿qué arrival nos va a asignar?
001, 1 Bravo la llegada.
Recibido, Azupa 1 Bravo, fuerza de Perú 001.
Lamperu 012, descienda para nivel 230.
230 para la Perú 09.
LAN Chile 574, Lima, buen día. Contacto radar, continúa ascenso para nivel 340. LAN Perú 012, por izquierdo directo Siguas, descienda para 230 y contacta Arequipa 118,7.
Recibido directo por izquierda Siguas y descendemos 230 y contactamos a equipo aproximación, la Perú 02. Muchas gracias.
Disco, Lima. Sky Perú 5141, continúa descenso para 210, contacta Arequipa 118,7. Buen arreglo.
18-7 para el AG Perú 5141, continuamos para 210. Muchas gracias, Jairo. Agradecido.
Ahora señores. Fuerza Aérea Perú 001, Lima.
Lima, Fuerza Perú 001, listos a descenso.
Descienda para nivel 250, vía Supa 1 Bravo, QNH 1028, atento menor.
Para 250, UNH 1028, Fuerza Perú 001.
aéreo del Perú 001, continúe descenso para nivel 210.
Para 210, fuerza de Perú 001.
Lima Control, Avianca 4811 is requesting descent. Lima Control, Avianca 4811 is requesting descent.
Avianca 4811, descent via Asupa, 1 Bravo arrival to flight level 230.
Descend via the Asupa 1 Bravo arrival to flight level 230, Avianca 4811. Asupa! I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Alright, let the games begin. We're descending now. It's going to take a while because we're all the way up at about 39,000 feet. But the good times are going to keep rolling because we're not that far from our destination. Should be there in about 12 minutes, if that estimated time on my dash is right. So strap yourselves in. It's going to be a fun time. Might need to expedite this descent in order to get to flight level 230 by Asupa. Let's see, maybe give it a little bit of speed brake.
Fuerza Aérea 001, continúe para 210 y contacte Arequipa 118,7. Buenos días, César.
Con 18 y más 7, buen turno, gracias Jairo, felicitaciones por el control. Fuerza Perú 001.
Lima.
I have never seen a country with as many plateaus and areas of super high elevation as Peru on this flight. I mean, the only comparable country I could think of is Ethiopia, because there's some super high plateaus when I've done flights over that country in Flight Sim, but really the landscape over Peru is just breathtaking. Really very unique. And speaking of Peru, I better actually put in the weather in southeastern Peru in my performance page on the MCDU. So let me take a look at some numbers here. Altimeter at our destination airport in Arequipa, 1028. Temperature 15 degrees Celsius. Winds 70 at 5. That's not too bad. And go arounds, let's just take a look at that. Okay, so there is no go around procedure that I can, or maybe I'm wrong. Well, I'm just gonna have to take a look at the altitude of the airport then.
Perú 2117, Lima.
Adelante la Perú 2117. Adelante la Perú 2117.
2117, ¿me recibes?
5/5.
2117, cuando listo, vía Supa 1 Bravo la llegada, descienda para nivel 250.
Cuando listo de la llegada Supa 1 Bravo, descenso con el nivel de vuelo 250
Correcto.
This will be a nice high elevation landing challenge because the Arequipa airport is all the way up at 9,400 feet of elevation. I mean, the only thing similar to that would be like if you were, or I guess a similar altitude would be it's like if you were somehow landing in Ouray, Colorado or something like that. Although I don't even think Ouray is that high. I could be wrong. Only about 60 miles away from the airport. We should be landing in about 10 minutes. Engines are on idle. Got a little bit of speed brake.
Avianca 4811, descend to flight level 210 and contact Arequipa Tower 118.7.
Descend to flight level 210 and contact Arequipa Tower on 118.7. Thank you, Avianca 4811.
Yeah.
See you. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do what the man said. We're going to go down to 210, and then we're also going to contact the Arequipa Tower on 118.7. Very rare to be handed to tower this early, but I like it because it actually makes life easier for me. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking to tower. There's actually sort of a circular descent
Arequipa, pista liberada, Sky Peru 514.
Plan Perú 012, viento 070 grados, 5 nudos, pista 10, autorizado para aterrizar. Autorizado a aterrizar la Perú 012. Por ser el Perú 001 se encuentra autorizado a la aproximación ILS pista 10. Notifique posición Gemán. UNH 1028.
Llamemos a Germán y autorizado ILS pista 10, fuerza de Perú 001.
Okay, I'm going to look for my opening because I really need to let them know what I'm doing. Arequipa Tower, hello, this is Avianca 4811 at flight level 210, inbound Quebec uniform 601.
Avianca 4811. Arequipa approach, good night, continue descent to level 180 and expect ILS runway 10, QNH 1028.
Descend to flight level 180, expect runway 10, QNH in Arequipa 1028, Avianca 4811. Okay, so he gave us some
La
really
Perú
bad-
01 se frustrada.
Go ahead and put our QNH on 1028, and again we're using hectopascals because we are
Plan Perú
outside of the US.
012, recibido, continúe procedimiento de aproximación frustrada, notifique por SIGUA.
Continuamos procedimiento y notifico sobre SIGUA la Perú 0.
Torre Arequipa, buenas noches, Lampero 2117 diciendo Azupa 1 Bravo para nivel 210.
Lampero 2117, Arequipa aproximación, muy buenas noches. En descenso para nivel de vuelo 210, continúe descenso para nivel 180 y prevé aproximación ILS pista 10.
Descenso a nivel de vuelo 180, prevé ILS pista 10, Lampero 2117.
With mountains this high, believe it or not,
Posición Germán, fuerza de Perú 001.
zero's not that high up.
Recibido Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001, viento 070 grados, 5 nudos, pista 10, autorizados para aterrizar.
Autoriza aterrizar Fuerza de Perú 001, pista 10.
Revisión 4 motores apagados, Skyper 5141, muchas gracias por el control 88.
Perú 5141, recibido, buenas noches, gracias.
Arequipa, Lampero 2117, servicio.
Southern Peru looks amazing.
Plan Perú 2117, propiedad.
Posibilidad de cancelar la espera en posición Germán.
Afirmativo sin problema, posterior Germán, aproximación ILS piso 1.
Cancela el race track sobre posición Germán, Lampero 2117, gracias.
Alright, I'm gonna put down some altitude information here.
Avianca 4811, clear to approach runway 10, report position Germán, QNH 1028.
Cleared for the approach runway 10, QNH 1028 for Avianca 4811. Okay. So, we really do need to get down to about 11.5. And quickly. Arequipa Tower, this is Avianca 4811. My flight computer shows that I do kind of one holding pattern around Guimam before I land, is that correct?
Negative, erase, hold on Germán, and continue approach runway 10.
Erase the hold on Guimam, continue approach for runway 10, Avianca 4811. Thank you so much, gracias. Okay, so he's just making life easier for me, which I really appreciate. So what's going to happen is I'm going to clear part of this approach so that way this all gets easier. Okay, C10. So once we get to Guimam, I'm just going to go direct C10. I'm going to have to do full-on speed brake because we're really going to need to slow down. We need to go into like approach phase. So as you can see, because we're going into approach phase, the airspeed is slowing down significantly. It's supposed to do that, and we're going to go flaps 1 to kind of give some space here. Maybe even flaps 2 in just a moment. So he told me to erase the hold, which the flight computer won't let me do, but I can go direct to CI10, and that's ultimately the same thing. So That's exactly what we're going to do. And that will take us into the localizer pattern for runway 10, which is how we're going to be able to land this sucker.
Plan Perú 2117, autorizado la aproximación y LS pista 10, buena hecho 1028. Notifique posición GEMAM. Autorizado y LS pista 10, buena hecho 1028, notifica posición GEMAM, Plan Perú 2017. Star Perú 2234, al momento mantenga posición, notifico para que continúe su retrocesión remontado.
This is the coolest looking approach I've ever seen with the mountains in the background. This is amazing. Oh, I love Peru. I need to go in real life. Okay, so we're going to take care of some things that normally we do much earlier, but because of the situation, we're not able to do that as early, which is fine. And go. Okay. Alright, so I'm also going to do something else. We're going to disconnect autopilot. We need to get much lower.
Plan Perú 2117, información de tránsito Airbus 320, compañía Bianca, 14 millas en aproximación a Arequipa, reduzca a mínimas de aproximación. Tráfico en Ticas y iniciamos la reducción de velocidad para mínimas de aproximación ante el 2117.
Ir activa, fuerza Perú 001. Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001, recibido, ruede vía Bravo, Bravo 1, plataforma militar, grupo aéreo. Bienvenido a Arequipa. Bravo, Bravo 1, calle militar para plataforma Fuerza Aérea. Muchas gracias, Piero, Fuerza Perú 001. Avianca Fourier 811, wind 707 degrees, 5 knots, runway 10, cleared to land. Cleared to land.
2,500.
Runway 10 cleared to land, Avianca 4811, thank you.
Paso posición GEMAM, Lamperú 017. Recibido Lamperú 2117, reduzca mínimas de aproximación. Notifique final corta. Continúa reducción de velocidad y notifica final corta, Lamperú 017. Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001, consulta.
Prosiga para el FAB 001.
Si no me equivoco, es plataforma ALAR 3. ¿Me confirma?
Sí, ala aérea 3 para el FAB 001.
Recibido, Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001, ruede vía Bravo, Bravo 1, calle rodaje militar a la plataforma ala aérea número 3.
Bravo, Bravo 1, calle militar para plataforma ala aérea número 3. Fuerza Aérea del Perú 001.
Plan Perú 012, Arequipa. ¿Me confirma listo a aproximación ILS pista 10?
Afirmativo, lista la aproximación y el ETC 10, Lamper 012.
Lamper 012, al momento vuele directo GEMAM y autorizar la aproximación ILS pista 10 con H1028.
Directo GEMAM y continuamos aproximación ILS a la 10, Lamper 09.
Avianca 3811, if possible, vacate runway as soon as possible.
50, 40, 30,
Traffic, Herba 3205 miles final.
Drive.
Vacate as soon as possible. Avianca 4811. Sorry for the delay.
Retard. Retard. Retard.
Plan Perú 2117, viento 070 grados, 5 nudos, pista 10, autorizado para aterrizar.
Autorizado a aterrizar, pista 10, Plan Perú 2117.
Avianca 48, 11 back leading runway via Bravo, continue Bravo, apron 5, please.
Continue Bravo, apron, and 5, Avianca 4811, thank you. Okay, so I was still in the touchdown zone. I was definitely trying to bring down the plane before I reached the end of the touchdown zone. These high altitude landings definitely play tricks with my head about sync rate and things of that nature, but
Equipa Torre, buenas noches. Skyjet 2456, abandonando 210.
Skyjet 2456, Arequipa Torre, buenas noches. Continúe su descenso para nivel de vuelo 140 y prevé aproximación ILS pista 10, QNH 1028.
Descendiendo el nivel de vuelo 140 y aproximación ILS a pista 10, Skyjet 2456.
make sure that this airplane is not going to clip the wing of the other one, because that would not be good, and I don't want to like run into someone's aircraft. That's kind of like rule number 1 of what you shouldn't do. So I'm gonna take a look at that right after I start this APU. Okay. And it's a good thing I checked, because my right wing is really not that far away from his wing. Wow, look at the scenery around this airport. Isn't that amazing? Man, that is incredible. Arequipa is a keepa, to be honest. Okay. APU's avail. I'm going to turn on the APU bleed and I'm going to do that thing where we turn off the engines. And
Arequipa, el Star Perú 2234, listo para push and start. Disculpe la demora. Recibe Star Perú 2234, sin problema, retroceso revolcado, aprobado, lateral toma 3, con nariz al este, notifique piso de radar. Autorizado push and start, nariz al este, Star Perú 2234.
alright guys, as beautiful as this airport is, GSX doesn't know the gates in this one because it's such a small airport, so we're not going to be able to do deboarding.
Liderando activa vía Bravo, continúe Bravo. Stand número 6, notifique establecido.
Bravo Star 6 vuelve establecido en Perú 07.
So, sorry, I
Perú
was...
012, viento 070 grados, 5 nudos. Pista 10 autorizado para aterrizar.
So we're not going to be able to do
Autorizado a
deep diving,
aterrizar, pista 10, Lampero 02.
but if you guys like the flight, please like and
Aquí
subscribe.
para
Thank you so
el
much.
2234.